Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. All right, let's get into it. I'm going to say this is some major news because this has made the Daily Mail website. The Sprinkle Lady has made the Daily Mail website. So shoot, if she ain't went viral already, she definitely is about to blow up worldwide. But let's get into the story because this is a nice read. And we got a lot to break down here. So this is from, like I said, the dailymail.co.uk, and it reads, inside the rise of the dark feminine dating influencers who teach women how to channel their inner princesses and find wealthy husbands. Now, I know y'all know who the Sprinkle Lady is. I've seen a couple of her videos and pretty disgusted by them because not only because she's in this little bitty childlike bedroom that looks like she's in her mother's house, the house she grew up in. So she's upstairs in a little little makeup room doing videos. But she's teaching or giving advice about things that are unrealistic in the real world, about how to find a wealthy man and how all women should strive to get this and not do anything for it and just be a woman and be taken care of. But the problem with that is, as I said, there's not a lot of wealthy men out there, especially in the United States, when you realize that only a small percentage, maybe is it 10% of all men make six figures in the United States, if that, and anybody above 250,000 or more is like in the 2%, and anybody who make more money than that is like in the 1%. So the majority of the men out there are not wealthy. But the thing about it is men will take care of you like a woman or a wife. But you have to have those womanly qualities that would make him want to do it. Because see, what you got to understand, I'm going to start off like this. Real men are about duty. We are about taking care of business, making sure that we and our loved ones are taken care of. Bottom line, there's nothing difficult about it. There's nothing confusing about it. We are just straight and to the point. Make money, take care of, like I say, real men who grew up under real men tutelage, who showed you how to be a family man, how to take care of your responsibilities, make sure that your offspring, those offspring and that wife that you took on, that responsibility that you took on, you do what you have to do to make sure they're taken care of. Which is why I always say for most of these ladies, your best scenario is to, one, get married, get in a relationship while y'all are young so y'all can grow and build the family together. Or two, find a man who's already in his purpose, doing his thing, trying to create something, trying to grow something, trying to become the man that he needs to be so that he can, get responsibility so the way he can start his family, start his own family and his offspring and his legacy. And you just, you attach yourself to that, but you have to have, again, those qualities of a wife in order to find a man who has the qualities of a husband. It's a give and take. It's a compromise. But again, a man has no problem. So y'all try to call a man a simp, a beta male if he tries to shell out money for a woman to get what he wants. Well, the thing is, that's what we all do in some form, shape, or fashion. But we would prefer to do it as family men and not as dudes out there tricking. Now, some guys want to do that because they don't want the responsibility of, but see, you talk about guys that got a lot of money who ain't trying to lose, ain't trying to get married and then get a divorce and lose it all in court battles because they took on a woman who ain't did nothing, ain't gonna do nothing, and now she's out your life. Men don't want to do that. So if they got to go out there and trick, and whatever the case, a little money and move on, then they'll do that, which is the type of women that we're going to talk about in this article, because that's pretty much how their lives are going to be for the most part, especially if they don't have, like say, those feminine qualities. If you got qualities for the streets, then eventually it's going to put you back on the streets. So you have to pretty much, like I say, compromise. But anyway, let's get to the story. Like I say, it's a lot to break down. It says, single women have long been frustrated with the struggles of modern dating, but for dark feminism influencers, it's as simple as knowing your value and avoiding broke men. Again, compared to today's society, looking on inflation, prices, and how many men are actually making six figures and above, and even six figures, 100,000 really. It's good money, but it ain't rich money. So hell, it's not even middle class money nowadays from the today's standards. The majority of the guys you're gonna date are gonna be broke, or they're gonna do everything they can to become broke to try to impress you, which is not gonna look good for him in the long run, not gonna look good for you in the long run. But you can burn off and go find a next sapsucker. But he gonna be sitting there, crying, saying, and washing his face with his own tears. The new trend that has taken TikTok by storm encourages heterosexual women to tap into their dark feminine energy and find partners who can provide for them, a concept that is often labeled as gold digging. Gold digging, again, that's a bad term, but you got to think about a woman's nature to be taken care of. But a lot of times they don't know how to channel that energy into positive energy to where they can actually get what they are truly deserving because of their qualities as a woman. Not just because you're a woman, but because of your quality as a woman. Like I'm saying, you got to have men, they have qualities as a husband, women have qualities as a wife. They get together, things tend to work out okay. You're going to have your problems with your arguments and your this, that, and the third, struggles in life. That's understandable, but again, in the long run, those type of relationships last a little longer. When navigating the dating pool, they are told to use manipulation, reverse psychology, and men's egos to their advantage. To them, knowing your self-worth is synonymous with knowing you deserve to be pampered. You ever heard the saying about dealing with people who commit crimes, like hackers, right? Or people who rob banks, or people who sell dope, something like that? Is when they get caught, go to jail, you always say, if you could have used that same drive for something positive, you probably could end up making the same money in the long run. Instead of making $3-4 million in a couple of years, you might could have made that same money in about 10 years. But the difference is, in a couple of years, you're either in jail or dead. The other way, you can use that money and grow off of it for the rest of your life. This is the same thing. If they could use this same drive to manipulate and use reverse psychologists and using males' egos to their advantage, they could probably find a good man, a decent man, that they could be with for the rest of their life. In the short term, like I said, this might think this is good, pan out good for you, get your little gifts, get pampered, whatever. But in the long term, after the dude actually see and realize what you are, he gonna dump you. But you know what you're gonna probably try to do? Probably try to get rid of him first, because you're gonna see it coming and then holler that he was a no good dude. The goal, according to these dating gurus, is to level up and find a provider man who will pay your bills, but unlike the 1950s inspired trad wives or traditional wives, they don't do housework in exchange for financial security. And that's why it won't last long. Because after a while, if you ain't putting, if he's doing everything and you're not doing anything, you're going to be replaced or you're going to be sharing. Can't get no more truthful than that. It says, what does it say? YouTuber Shira7, whose real name is Letitia Padua, is a popular dark feminine influencer. She encourages young women to date older, wealthy men and treat them poorly. Because really, the wealthiest men are the older men. So, and they probably ain't did nothing bad to you, and they looking to settle down, looking for love, and here you come in, swooping in and plan to do them wrong because you don't plan on staying with them long because you know this is only short term. So you're trying to beat them to the punch so you can find your next trick. It says Shira7 is also a TikTok star without having her own account. Compilations of her blunt advice have received millions of views on the platform. The TikTok account at Dark Feminine Fantasy, led by the mysterious Dark Feminine, has earned more than 260,000 followers by touting the dark feminine mindset in her posts and series of ebooks. The Australian content creator, who asked to remain anonymous, told DailyMail.com that dark feminine energy is about embracing the darker side of yourself that society has deemed negative. Now, it's interesting that she remained anonymous. If you haven't seen the movie, it's American Fiction. Great movie. Went and seen it a couple of weeks ago. Had me laughing because it's like the truth. That the powers that be don't want to see black folks being average. They don't want that story right in their books and their entertainment. They want the story of somebody who just raunchy and talk ghetto and had like 5 baby mamas, 6 baby daddies, been on drugs, this, that, and the third, and they'll put that book out. And so I don't want to tell the story, but one of the guys who wrote a book in the movie, he wanted to be anonymous and use like a pseudonym because he didn't want people to know who he was, because if they would find out he was just a squirrel, they probably wouldn't buy the book. What the heck is that? This is the same thing. She don't want to be seen, want to be anonymous. She could be just a regular housewife, seeing that people are making money, posting these ridiculous videos, giving this ridiculous advice. And so she probably just jumped on a wagon, staying anonymous, and making a boatload of money off of y'all foolishness. Let's see what her quote is. We look at the dark feminine woman and she's the shadow self of the defiant divine feminine woman, she said. She takes the so-called quote unquote negatively perceived qualities and emotions and embraces them in a positive way. Somebody always trying to turn something negative to the positive, like us using the N-word or women calling themselves the B-word. It's like, it's a negative, but we're going to take the power and change it and use it for terms of endearment. Sound like a doggone fool. Dame Femin gave the example of a woman being selfish and not going out of her way to make someone comfortable unless it benefits her. The label may have a negative connotation, but she uses it to her advantage. In the dating world, she's enticing because she has a respect for herself, she explained. No, she don't. If you out here basically selling yourself for money, that's not self-respect. That's prostitution. It is the whole idea that falls under everyone is you pushed out. Since she loved herself so much, other people will mirror that love back to her. I just read it like it was written. The content creator said she started embracing her dark feminine energy a few years ago after a string of bad relationships in which she was treated badly. Here's the thing. Most of the time, water seeks its own level. If you are in a series of bad relationships, I can guarantee that you are in the community of the same type of people. For instance, people who date guys from certain neighborhoods, and you kind of find out that he ain't trying to do nothing with his life. He may, smoke, drink, play video games all day, out there trying to hustle. In his 40s, still thinking he's going to be Nino Brown. Got a couple of baby mamas out there, and you draw to that person. Have a bad relationship with that guy. The next relationship, same type of guy. Same type of guy. That relationship goes bad. You get out of that relationship somehow. The next guy, same type of guy. And the cycle continues. But then you meet a decent guy who seems like he got his head on his shoulders and on the right path. And for some reason, you don't trust him. Or you can't be with that guy because he's corny. Okay, 10 years from now, the dude's married, got kids, and ain't thinking about you. And you still thinking about, God, I should have kept that guy because he was right. Because all these dudes I keep dealing with, they ain't no good. Well, again, because you probably attracted to the same type of dude. So undoubtedly, you're going to have bad relationships. She swore off men to focus on herself, but during that time, an ex who had dumped her tried to win her back. And he wasn't the only one who came crawling back. Exactly. The same type of dude. Because me, myself, after ending the breakup, I ain't never, ever try to go back. Now, I ain't talking about high school and junior high. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like his dad does. Hell, even in high school, for the most part, that once it was over, never went back. Let's say, while trying to pinpoint what she was doing to create that shift in power, she started reading about psychological manipulation and seduction and honing her skills. Now, see, people will put all kind of effort into bad things of doing evil because it's easy. It's easy because you can justify doing it, and it is ridiculous. After talking to friends about her experience, she launched her TikTok account to teach other women the importance of self-love and having high standards. That's somebody with low self-esteem. If you're talking about manipulating people, I wanted women to understand that if they didn't love themselves, then they weren't going to be loved by anyone else, she explained. That was the basis of what I was trying to get across. Dame Femme has taken inspiration from YouTuber Shira7, who may be the patron saint of dark feminism dating. There she is. Sprinkle. The content creator, whose real name is Letitia Padua, has more than 600,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel, where she has been posting videos for the past decade. So she been on this, man, I know, because I just heard about it like last few months. So man, she been on this, doing this for a grip. I'm sure her subscriber YouTube count gonna go up after this article. Shira Stevens is also a TikTok star without having her own account. Compilations of her blunt advice have received millions of views on the platform, where fans lovingly use her catchphrase, sprinkle, sprinkle, whatever the heck that means. From a financial advisor more financial advisor than a dating coach, she advocates for young women to date older, wealthy men and treat them poorly to keep them interested. She thinks love is for teenagers, called broke men dusties, and like I say, who's not. If you're talking about broke, you're talking about something making $20,000 or less. It's a lot of men making that too. But the older you get, I don't see why you would try to deal with somebody making $20,000 less anyway. So if you're dealing with broke men, then you're dealing with somebody either who got no motivation to do anything in their life, or you're dealing with young guys because they're young guys. And you want that young guy to make you feel like a young woman. But the thing about it is, most of them young guys ain't got that money that you're looking for. Interesting story. Observation, if you will. You see these women online giving this advice. The women on her lying online, claiming that they all done dated high value men. Every guy they dated had 6 figures, got his own business, whatever. That's their claim, right? But then when you look at the stats, and it shows you that not even 10% of all men, because a lot of them, only date black men, right? So you're talking about black men, you're talking about, not even 2-3 cents in your hand. So they claim that they all date these high value men, but then you look, like I said, there's not a whole lot of high value men out there. So then the question, and then you come to realize that if what they're saying is true, which most likely that it's not true, they're just they're doing it for clicks and likes and for AdSense. You got to understand, separate the real from the fake. But if what they're saying is true, then that means they're all dating the same guy. Period. I mean, really, to be honest, they say that 60% of men don't have kids, right? So look at that. But all these women got kids. So what it's telling you is they all having kids by the same guy, the same group of dudes. You see what I'm saying? So the statistics, let's say men lie, women lie, numbers don't. The statistics does not support the message that you're trying to convey to these unsuspecting women who are going to go out there and get their feelings hurt worse than if they went out there on their own and just try to do it. They try to go out there and have relationships and see how it works. The fastest way people want, like a fast track microwave generation. They want to know something quick. They want to learn they want to know how to get rich quick, how to get through school quick, how to get, how to put together a desk quick. They don't want to take time out, how to hurry up and catch fish. They don't want to take time out and enjoy and figure out how and to learn how to do something thoroughly. So that way you can appreciate that way. If something does happen to mess up, you know exactly what may have happened and how to fix it. But when you try to take shortcuts and somebody give you cliff notes when things don't go right, you wonder like, what happened? I did everything that you told me to do. Yeah, but you ain't put no time and effort into it. So that's your problem. The fastest way for a woman to get paid and to get rich is to marry and also to take his money and start your business. You see, then you add that second part, which kind of messes up. She said in one clip, a woman can be poor one day and a millionaire next. That's how simple it is for us. And that is true because, like I say, a man will build an empire, but he needs a legacy. So he's not really looking at you so much as for eye candy or being young. He actually looking at you to help continue his legacy. And if you ain't gonna do that, then he may just push you aside, like I say, or you just might be sharing. Let's continue. When responding to critics who claim they can't be with an old man, even if he's rich, Shira Sevens made it clear that she thinks they are fools. Well, I couldn't be standing up for 8 hours all day at work punching the clock. Okay. She hit back. I mean, choose your struggle. I'm not going to be 65 working at Walmart, baby. Is she married? Does she got a man or not? Because if she do, then why don't she show the guy? And then if she is, then again, she's another one of them people that just put out a message and not living in her truth. Dark Feminine says she also believes it's silly to marry for love instead of money, but she noted that a rich man doesn't equal a provider man. There are a lot of rich, stingy men, she said. She explained. When I say broke man, I don't mean a man who doesn't have money. I mean a man who doesn't have any drive or ambition. That's a good definition. Dame Femi defined a high value man as one who knows how to treat his woman in his masculine energy. You're probably not going to find a provider man going clubbing at 1 a.m. And he probably won't be on Tinder, she said. Your best chance is probably at hotel bars where he is traveling for work or at a high-end gym. That's the thing. It's called about proximity. A lot of these women want to find certain men, but again, you're still hanging in the same circles. She gave a good point, like say hotel bars or a high-end gym. But hell, a hotel bar, that means the guy's only in town for a little while. So you plan on moving around? You plan on moving to where he's living? Shoot, a lot of women ain't gonna do that. It's a big step. Like I said, all he gotta do is just, get tired of and drop you off and send you back home, and then what? You back to square one? Because your intentions aren't pure. Pure evil. But they're not pure, like holy pure. However, finding a provider man in his natural habitat is only half the battle. You also have to know how to attract his attention and seduce him. You have to have a certain etiquette. You have to dress a certain way, act a certain way, she explained. And I'm looking at the pictures of these women on this And hopefully I can upload them to this channel, this video. But my God, y'all used to say Michael Jackson looked like a freak because his nose was a little bitty and he had like, pencil drew his lips in and got light skin and bleached his skin or whatever. But these women here look like freaking mannequins and or drag queens. And that's another thing y'all women gotta understand. This society has fooled you into believing that you need a pound of makeup a day to attract a man, when all it is doing is, is going toward the LGBT, LMNOP community and having y'all all look the same. Like, y'all don't realize that all this makeup is worn by drag queens. You used to be able to tell the difference between a man and a woman real well. It used to be real hard for one of them to fool you. But you should be able to tell a difference in how they look. But now, the drag queens know how to contour their makeup to look like a woman, but you knew that they was a guy. And now these women are doing the same thing, knowing how to contour makeup, Botox, fake lashes, fake eyebrows, lip injections, the same thing them drag queens used to do and still do. Now can't nobody tell the difference. So now you got guys who want to be women, who want to date guys, and they put that makeup on, their clothes on, and look just like a female. And you can't tell the difference. That's a problem. That's a problem that needs to change. Most real men want a woman who don't cake their face up with all that makeup and all that fakeness, but they want a real man. Make it make sense. Walk with me here. Dark feminine videos feature footage of attractive women. I don't see how the hell them women attract. Like I said, look at them pictures. They look like I said, like drag queens and mannequins. Including celebrities with text overlays encouraging women to embrace their inner princess. You mean your inner prostitute. I treat myself like a princess 24/7. If a man can't match that energy, then why would I willingly accept him in my life? She wrote in one post. Chasing a man reeks of desperation that stems from attachment. She argued in another. You have to become so secure in yourself that the absence of someone else doesn't bother you. She sound like a man to me. Another popular dark feminism dating influencer is the Wizard Liz, who has 5.65 million YouTube subscribers. Dang! And 5.6 million TikTok followers. I realize there are a lot of miserable women out there, my God, who sit here and listen to this stuff because it's a fantasy world. Really, it's like reading old love novels or y'all watching them, romance movies and stuff. It's a fantasy world that if you watch it too much, you'll tend to believe that that's really out there when it's not the way it's depicted on TV. Little is known about the Wizard Liz's identity. Another one is being anonymous. Like I say, she's probably a housewife sitting at home making money off of y'all foolish thoughts and behaviors. But she takes a big sister approach to teaching confidence and self-worth in her legion of fans. In her YouTube video titled How to Receive Princess Treatment, she recalled how her mother worked to provide her lazy husband only to have him cheat on her and leave her for a younger woman. A mistake she vowed she wouldn't make. And that's another thing. See, a lot of times women be in these relationships. Well, a lot of times these women have seen relationships that their mom or their aunt or grandmother had been in with these no-count dudes, and it hardens them. As a child, that's why as an adult, you have to be careful about what you do and who you bring around your kids, because they see everything and they learn and they keep it in all the way to an adult, to where they'll be like, I'm not going to deal with no dude like that. I'm not going to deal with no female like that. And when they get older, they really don't know how to treat nobody, or don't even know how to be treated because of what they saw that you go through. That's the importance of the nuclear family. I need you to understand that people in life get what they expect. She said, I've always expected my partner to pay all my bills and do everything financially for me. The videos on her TikTok page combine footage of her looking glamorous with pithy messages about how having self-love and high standards go hand in hand. A confident woman that understands how valuable she is will always get what she wants, she wrote in a clip. Ain't nothing wrong with being, positive and believing in yourself. Nothing wrong with that at all. Like I say, you speak it into existence, man, it'll come true. The message has resonated with many women who are burned out at work and fed up with getting ghosted or mistreated by men. Oh, so y'all just don't want to work no more. What happened to the whole equality, equal rights, equal pay, all that kind of stuff? Now you're doing equal work. Now you want to quit? Shoot, whatever. Critics have branded these content creators as nothing more than gold diggers, but they couldn't care less about the negative label and readily embrace it as if it means they are being treated like the queens they believe they are. This is a compliment, Cheryl 7 insisted in one clip. Who wants to be a hard worker that doesn't get any money from their man? Understood. The Wizard Liz argued in her YouTube video titled Stop Dating Broke Guys that it's always the men who aren't wealthy who will have a whole meltdown and call you a gold digger for wanting money. Well, hell, if you ain't doing nothing for it, of course they're going to call you that. Honey, you don't have any money. There's nothing to be used. There's no gold for us to dig because you have no gold. She said you should not be worrying about gold diggers. You should be worrying about being broke. And usually guys, real men, are in their purpose. I don't know why I use that word, in their purpose. That's a mess that the women be saying. They are doing what they need to do to try to get to where they need to get. And it ain't gonna come overnight. It could take years. It took me 10 years to get a 2-year degree. But that's because, divorce, kids, all that kind of stuff, trying to, struggling. Told the story before, I ain't gonna get into it again. But it takes time. She explained to dailymail.com that being a dark feminine woman and a gold digger are two separate concepts that get confused, but she doesn't mind being called one or using the term because it's true. If you don't want to be with a broke man and you don't want to split the bills and you don't want to struggle in life, then okay, label a woman a gold digger. She says that's fine. Here's the thing. Number one, these women 10 years ago would have been on the back of Craigslist. That's number one. Number two, people as a whole got to understand that it takes work to get to where you need to be, or even where you want to be. If you think you're going to wake up and mistreat and misuse guys who probably never mistreated you or never done you nothing wrong, in the long run, you will be single. You will be alone. Let's say that. Whether you want that or not, that's up to you. But no, evil deeds will eventually be punished one way or another. And eventually your rope will run out. Like I say, wouldn't take these women with a grain of salt with what they're talking about, which is why I think people just listen to it for the controversy. I think they know that too. I don't think a whole lot of women are following them or believing what they say. You do got some out there though. And a lot of times people know what sells, what makes money, what gets the views and the likes. We get the subscriptions up so you can get that AdSense and then you can start making money, getting monetized. They know what to do. And so I think most of these women don't even believe what they're saying. Saw a woman say don't date a dude who make less than $50,000. But she looked like she was like 5'8", 200 pounds. Like, really? Like, why would somebody spend their money on you unless your personality warrants it? Aha. That's one thing you're missing. Because she could say that if she had a loving disposition and it was true to it. Because eventually the real you going to come out. And then dude is going to drop you. Or again, you're going to be sharing. You choose. But if you out there, and she had to think she's just going to get 50 grand by her looks, man, she might get like a fat drug dealer, overweight drug dealer who happy to have him, a light-skinned woman, no matter what size she is, and so be it. And I ain't gonna sit there and talk about nobody's body because we all dated women that were skinny, big, and in between. So let's just keep it a buck. But this type of teaching is dangerous because when you actually teach it to younger, more immature females, they'll start to believe it and they'll try it and then it'll work and then they'll keep doing it, but then they'll end up hurt. What they don't tell you is you end up in, what was this girl in like Instagram models, TikTok influencers, you leading these guys on. It was a lady in Houston named Mercedes something. And remember, they found her deleted, and the guy who came into her house, he had offed himself. But there was no signs of forced entry, so she let the guy in, most likely. But that's because you are leading these guys on, having them believe one thing, making them think it's that one way, but it's that other. And like I said, that's a dangerous game that you really don't want to be playing. But hey, if you think it's going to turn out great, this kind of reminds me, I'm going to end it on this, kind of like LASIK surgery for your eyes. When it first came out, it was like everybody jumping on it because they want that 20/20 vision. Me, myself, I'm like, let me wait 10, 15 years from now to see what the results are, some of the studies are. If people still can see good, then fine, then I'll look into it. But until then, just can't tell me something and then I'm just gonna jump on it. Now I need some kind of proof. I need some kind of some data. So if somebody came to you with a story like this, first you need to figure out who's telling it. Because it's one thing if they're talking in first person, it's another if they're talking in third person. Like if this person is talking in first person, but they're not giving you the tea or the scoop on their own relationship, then it's probably a lie. They're just trying to bait you into buying something or watching so they can get that AdSense. But let's say like if somebody like an alcoholic or a drunk who hanging outside a liquor store giving you advice on not drinking or how they messed up their life and what you should be doing. And it's like, I say speaking in third person because the person that you should be is not them, so you're speaking in third person, but first person terms or whatever. You should be more prone to listen to that guy because he can tell you what he did to get to where he at, so that way you won't be where he at. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how you look at this. Unfortunately, this is on actually the women's and the men's side. Can't wait to see if they have an article like this for guys because you got the guys who are like staunch, like red pill, don't bend, everything about a woman is evil and don't listen to them. Them guys, I don't know. I know there's some guys who speak like that and they married. So it's like, how can, what are you saying? But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Most definitely leave a comment below. Let's dialogue. You know how we do it on this side. If you want to support the channel, hey, super chat, super thanks. And also you can go down in the description box. There's some links in there that you can click on and help also support the movement. And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace and I'll see you on the other side.